I'm Darren. I'm Randy. And welcome to Startup Stories.
Cause we just talking business.
We just talking business, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, every morning I wake up. Every morning I wake
Everybody,
up.
welcome back to Startup Stories. I am Darren and he is
Randy.
My guy said Randy.
Hey, man, you gotta let him know, bro. You gotta let him know.
Well, today we have with us Jay, and his business is DME Photo Booth. Man, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
We happy to have you here. We happy to have you here. So I normally start off everything with like a opener question, like an icebreaker. But I'm gonna start this off with how I know Jay, and I was introduced to Jay from our brother Kenton.
What up, Ken?
And yes, my brother Ken, thank you for introducing us. Everybody's family now, and so my family and Jay's family, we've been around each other for at least like the last 5 years, and it went from being acquaintances. I'm the new guy to the group. My family's new family to the group. To now we're all like family, where we all get together, hang out for Thanksgivings and things like that.
Yeah,
so
UFC
like,
fights and shit.
yes, everything. Kicking it. Having guys' nights. So we've grown, and I've got to learn. And I'm the little brother in this whole this whole family thing. So a lot of my time is learning from them on just how to be better as a man and as a father and all those things. So I got to give you the flowers on that right there. But this is how that's how we know each other, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Definitely. So I wanted to know what is it that DME photo booth does? Like, what do y'all do?
DME Photo Booth, which DME stands for Digital Memories Every Day. But it's a photo booth. Well, I mean, because I've been a photographer since I've been doing a photo booth thing since 2012. And what we do is set up a photo booth for our guests or whoever our clients are. And they just come, whatever the event is, whether it be a wedding, birthday parties, any type of event, clubs, etc. And they come up and you press start and take pictures. That's what I do currently. But in 2012 when I first started, it was just a regular black backdrop, kind of like the one behind us. Mm-hmm. And lights like these, and I would get there with my camera. And at the time, I had some cheap camera. I don't even know what it was called. Sony, maybe. Not even Sony. It was maybe $120 camera or something like that. And once I learned it, I realized, I was like, okay, this is more like a beginner's camera. And once I started learning cameras, I was like, oh, that's when I started discovering like Canon and Nikon and DSLRs in general. Now they're mirrorless, but yeah, to answer your question.
I remember when we first started the podcast, and I remember telling you about it. Mm-hmm. And I remember immediately, like, I told you, I was like, man, I want you to come on the podcast. Like,
yeah.
How'd you feel about that, like, going on a podcast?
Well, I was excited, like I say, from, just watching podcasts on a regular basis anyway. Mm-hmm. So I was always just inspired to just be a part of it in any kind of way. So when you told me, I was like, that's dope. I was fully supportive.
Definitely.
So that's why I'm like, I was so willing to come through, man. And like I said, I'm excited to be here right now. So
that's what's up.
I think that's cool what y'all doing.
Yes. So if you could add anything to your business that would help make your job easier, or something that would make your photo booth better, or any of your pictures better, what would you add?
Right now, what I would add is definitely a cargo van. I would like to get like that Ford Transit. Mm-hmm. Just because, hauling all that gear. I mean, like I got my wife's SUV, mm-hmm. but I want something specific to, when I'm getting hired at these events. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to something quick and easy. Boom, it ain't all so up high where I gotta pull it and boom.
Set it down. Yep.
Yeah. My bad. I know it's kind of far. Where it's so heavy, and so that's right now my goal is to get a cargo van. So I'm saving up for that, and I'm thinking about taking out a business loan and maybe try to find one for about $8,000. I don't want nothing fancy, nothing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes tons of sense. To anything that can, especially, lifting, taking any of your product from way up here to try and carry it, bring it down.
It is.
And then that stuff
Yes.
can get frustrating.
Yes, it can.
And it's easier if you have something that's just like boom right there. You roll it to you, pull it to you,
Yeah.
and it makes all your
Yeah.
transport, or loading and unloading. It makes all that easier.
Oh,
So
man.
much simpler.
World of difference.
Yeah, on the body, the joints, everything. Cause look, I don't know, y'all see the gray hair in my beard. I don't like carrying things from high to low. My back start to hurt too much.
Yo, man, and I done bought wagons. Like hauling gear is once you finally get like seasoned, you wind up you look around, you're like, damn, I got a lot of gear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
You be like, why get so much?
right?
So I have a question for you. What type of booth do you offer for your business?
Right now I have an iPad booth. I mean, it don't look like it when you walk up to it, but you just insert a 12-inch iPad. And yeah, man, I have a service where, like I say, my guests, they come up. It has the giant ring light, and people walk up to it. You just hit start, man. And it just looks so cool. People,
Yeah.
Take pictures with your friends and family, man, and it steals the show at every event.
Yes.
So once I saw that, my first few gigs, man, I was like, I got locked in. And I ain't gonna lie, it kind of got me away from the photography thing because I was so used to just, shooting that I was like, you know what, I wanted something a little more kind of does the work for me type of thing. So that's when I looked into it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. So once I've set it up at the event, and then I would go take my wife out to eat.
Look, I've been at the event. I've been at an event where I was playing Santa, and then he brought in a photo booth. He set it up, and as soon as he set it up, it was like everybody just naturally gravitated to it. And they were like, "Well, how do we do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, just press the button." And so they just press the button, and everybody just naturally coming in, boom, and they're just taking pictures.
It's fun, man.
And I didn't see him for the rest of the time because he just got to walk off. It was like it was great. And also, I want to know, like, how did you actually get into photography and doing the photo booth? And the reason I'm asking that is because a previous guest we had on, he said that he saw a need for something in the community. So I was wondering if part of like your photo booth was like a need that you saw, or was it an extension of you already like getting into photography and loving photography?
Honestly, man, I had no interest in photography whatsoever. One night, my homeboy threw a party, and he hired a guy that had a local photo booth that worked in Tacoma. And my wife actually got inspired. She was like, you know what? I think we could do that, because he came in, set up his booth, and people was paying $10 a picture. Even we bought a picture, you know what I'm saying? So she was like, let's try it. She bought the gear, and the next event, because her mom was a party promoter, so she was constantly throwing parties. So we set up the booth, and we made money like all night. And I just looked at her like, damn, you own something.
Yeah.
And then from then on, like, I just started, doing it every weekend. And before I knew it, it just took off. And that's all I wanted to do ever since. And that's when I started investing in the gear, And then, like I say, since 2012, it's been a thing. And I even stopped music. Like I thought I was going to be a rapper. I was trying to be the next Lil Wayne, etc. You know what I mean? I've really spent a lot of money and working hard to try and become famous. But somehow, once I got a hold of that camera, man, I was like, never mind this music. Because I was making so much money off the camera, I'm like, man, I'm wasting money at these parties trying to,
Yeah.
And it became a full-on business.
But good and well, as a fellow photographer, how hard it is
Bro.
to just save money. You get your camera, and then you need glass for it, and then y'all taking pictures, right? But like, man, it's good. I can take your picture here, but what about if I want to take your picture over there? I'm gonna need a new camera, or I'm gonna need a new lens. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to go get some more glass for your lens. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but my camera doesn't do this. It only takes, like,
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. It's with that. It was a lot of trial and error. From being. I even took on gigs that I knew I couldn't execute.
yeah.
Because I didn't have the proper lens, like you were saying.
Yes.
I was just like, in order for me to get that type of shot, I need that type of lens.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's how I learned, and I had to save. Some lenses took me at least 3 years just to purchase.
Okay.
Let's not talk about it right now, man. I'm saying, bro, I think that's like the biggest, especially when you see somebody, a photographer, out in the wild. You see a photographer out in the wild and they got their camera. How painful is it to see when they be holding the camera wrong, taking the picture, but they gear be like $6,000? I'll be like, man, you don't even deserve that.
Yeah, man. I definitely see a lot of amateurs that got some money. Like, you just bought that because you can tell. At least for me, like if you're not really looking through that thing, I can tell. Like, if you're just looking at it like this,
or this, What are you doing?
To me, you're a rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Shooting in an auto. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. I digress.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny you say that. Like, from when I learned, I didn't even know you could shoot an auto. Like, I learned manual.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Actually, Kenton was like, one day I was having trouble at this gig that he happened to be at, and he was like, well, why don't you just try auto and it'll do all the work for you? And I was like, duh. Like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
But I was so used to just doing it myself, and getting the right shot that I didn't even think to just use auto. So
it's crazy.
I remember there were the other event that I did when I was playing Santa, and he was there taking the pictures for that one. And since you're talking about lenses, I remember your wife Rose. She was like, "Hey, switch the lens out," and y'all switched the lenses out, and it made the background pop like crazy. Like it looked like we were literally sitting inside of a house and it was snowing outside.
Yeah.
Off of that like lens change.
Yeah.
Like, how much of an impact has she had on y'all's business too?
Everything, man. Like I say, from it being her idea from the jump to pretty much being an assistant to where, if I'm doing all of the work, she can at least just help me with the minor things that I'm not thinking about. And, so to speak, secretary work, where she can take on certain phone calls, emails. She real good with the receipts because I don't ever think of it. I'm like, here you go, exchange money. But she like, did you give them the receipt? Blah blah blah. So
Over what?
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So those minor details is very important. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, having a business partner really helps, man.
It does.
It
You can't
definitely
do it by yourself.
Definitely.
You know.
I once, and I've said this before, but I noticed like with the three of us, we all go to our wives and like ask them questions, and we involve them in our businesses, and they are such big parts of how we operate.
Yes.
And so
Yes,
that's
I am.
just something that's wonderful. Definitely.
Because even if, looking at it now, even if I didn't have her, I would have some type of associate. Like, hey, in your free time, can you help me out? I got this going on. Blah blah blah. I just feel like having those extra resources really helps
Definitely.
your business grow.
Definitely. So you're from Detroit, correct?
Yeah, Detroit, Michigan. Born and
Okay.
raised.
How did growing up in Detroit shape you as a business owner now? Like, what positives did that give you?
Probably just that environment alone. I don't know if positive is the word, but just being around street hustlers that, they weren't selling clothes and shoes. They was, moving drugs. But it was the business aspect of seeing them hustle and make money. And I'm just like, damn, I don't want to do what they do, but I want to be able to make money that doesn't come from a 9-to-5, so to speak. Even though I have a 9-to-5, I always wanted like something for me, and something to where, like you said earlier, something that I can provide the community with, a service or some kind of need, So
How's that balance? That work life balance? What's your 9 to 5?
It hasn't been bad. You know, I would rather just work for myself full time, but
Hey man.
I'm not in that position yet. But that's definitely the
Yeah.
ultimate goal, is to work for myself full time. But I'm on my way. You know.
Yes, we are.
Definitely.
Yes, we are.
I mean, that's what we all want to do.
You know, cheers to that.
Yes. All right, you know
Definitely.
what? Absolutely. This is coffee.
This is apple juice.
Yeah, this is whatever you want it to be.
A question. So, when I started my business, I kept it to myself. I didn't really tell anybody that I was doing it, and then I sprung it up. Like, hey, I'm doing this, and I did that because sometimes you have people who want to shoot your ideas down. So when y'all were starting your business, did you just keep it between you and your wife, or did you start talking to other people in the beginning before you got everything started?
You know, the only negative responses I got that made me feel away or less inspired was probably just from people at my actual 9 to 5 that were, you know, I work in the medical field, so, you know, nurses and certain doctors and stuff like that, they like, oh, I mean, that's okay, but, you know, you shouldn't put too much into that. And, you know, they would kind of just shoot it down like, what you gonna do with that? That ain't gonna make nothing. But even if it don't make, just the simple fact that I'm inspired by it.
Yeah.
That is. I'm sorry.
But you know what I'm about to say to all y'all nurses and doctors that shot them down? Guess who y'all called for the photo booth?
Thank you.
For the Christmas party.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I ain't even think about that.
Thank you.
I ain't even think about that.
Period.
My fault, man. That kind of got me tight. And see, and so,
me too.
And that's why I was saying, I kept it to myself because people will come in and shoot your ideas down.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know, and some folks, they do it purposely, and some people, they do it, you know, they don't even realize that they're doing it. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm happy that you did not allow any of that nonsense to like deter you from opening your own business and doing the photo booth, which that's just, I mean, I probably say that's a little bit of Detroit in you, you know, helping you push through all that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think so because I seen it back home too. Like I seen different photographers doing it back home, but it didn't inspire me at the time. Like once I moved up here, and like I said, my wife's mom was being a party promoter. We was always on the scene, so excuse me, always on the scene. So just me seeing like music artists, singers, photographers, you know, things like that. I was just like, man, I want to just be out here doing something.
Yes.
And since I changed my mind about music, this photo thing is it, and it's like I don't see no end.
Yes, definitely. What are some hurdles that you faced, like when starting the business?
Just not being able to afford certain gear that would really make my job easy in the beginning. You know, that's really key. You know, you can get some cheap stuff to kind of get you going, but you know, over time, you want to spend the money on quality.
Yes, you do.
You know,
Yes,
I mean,
you do.
and I learned that from
Makes a
truck
difference.
because I got like a case full of gear that I really need to throw it away, but it just reminds me of where I was at in the beginning.
You can't forget where you came from.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Humble beginnings.
You know.
Yeah, and even when I see other inspired up and coming photographers, I be like, you know what? I remember when I had a camera like that. You know, and when they come up to me and ask me certain questions, you know, I don't try and like what they call gatekeep, like this, you know, that type of thing. I let them know like, hey, I got this from here. This is this type of lens. This shot for this specific
Yes.
reason. You know, if you're doing weddings, you want this lens. If you're doing parties, you want this lens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know
I do, and I'm gonna say this. Darren knows me. Darren knows me. What's my biggest gripe, man? Gatekeepers. That's
Yes.
my biggest gripe. I
Yes.
appreciate you. Let me get this man his flowers. Okay.
I'm not snapping my fingers.
Yet you will.
You will.
But I'm gonna say this, man. The fact that when somebody takes the time, I'm talking to you guys out there. When somebody stops and takes the time to show you where they've been and how they got to where they are, that is when you need to listen. That is when you need to listen.
Absolutely.
There are so many people out there that will gatekeep or send you down the left path when you're not supposed to go down the left path. You're supposed to stay straight or go to the right. And you need to stop and you need to listen to those people that try to show you exactly what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you for not doing that. And I'm telling you how little people will actually show you and take the time to show others exactly what they need to do. So
And
I
you
want
know-
to give you your flowers, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And to the people that did give me their back when I was asking questions and trying to learn, I want to say I understand because they felt like, look, you trying to learn, you're my competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at it now. At the time, I was kind of offended, like, damn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, I get it. You out here on the market, you want to make money. Somebody like me could be potentially take your business. So I get it now, but it's like I'm not like that. And from my experience, that's just what it is. Like I'm not gonna do that to other people.
Exactly.
So
Okay. So I have a quick question for you, man. So how long did it take you to be able to leave your photo booth at the event?
how long did it take?
Yeah, to get comfortable with leaving it there.
Oh man, it was instant. It was instant. Like when I bought it, I mean, of course, I set everything up at home and I ran it because I bought like the wireless printer.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. You know what I mean? And it's like you set it up. Well, with before I say that, with a printer is different. You can't leave if you got your wireless printer there.
Yeah.
You have to stay at the event. But some people, they book it to where there's no prints, and the booth it sends the photos to their phone as soon as they
Yes. Yes.
that type of thing.
Yes.
So as soon as I got comfortable with the setup, when I practiced at home, as soon as I got booked,
Yeah.
I put it there, I set it up, and we went home, and me and my wife had a few drinks, and in 2 hours we went back to the event, broke it down, went back home, collected a check.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
So yeah, no.
That's really nice.
But yeah, I mean, if you get the machine, it does all the work for you.
And what type of software do you use inside of your?
Well, right now I use a Luma booth. But,
Okay.
But there's numerous you can use, but Luma booth is like, I don't know, $20 a month, I think. Yeah, I think it's $20 a month, and I use Canvas. I don't know if you're familiar with Canvas. I use Canvas. That way I can make templates,
Okay.
my invitations, flyers. I mean, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Canvas. And I forget how much that is monthly. So I incorporate that in my prices.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I charge for my clients. So
That's what's up. I do have a photo booth as well. I've heard of Luma booth, but I've never looked into it. I've used this program called Booth Events.
I've never used it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you like that one?
It's not $20 a month.
And so I mean, like you get what you pay for, type of thing.
It's minus 75 a month. I know. Trust
Wait
me.
a
Let's
minute.
not. I know. I do. I know. Trust me. I know.
Well, okay, now I'm curious. Like, okay,
I mean, I'll put it like this: there's a lot of support that you can get online, and they have a lot of videos. It shows you how to connect. We DMP.
okay, yeah, I have
Yeah.
a DMP computer printer.
I don't have a DMP printer. I have. I use a selfie printer,
Yeah,
so I have to be there. You know what I'm saying? But it kind of like it. You can use DSLR along with it as well for the booth events. But I mean, it's for iPad only. It's proprietary to Apple. So it's
Wow.
a good software. But I don't mind branching out and looking at something else.
I mean, I'm so curious. Like, for it to be $75 a month, like I wonder, like, what specifically are you really paying for, as far as
We can go over it.
yeah, as far as events or whatever it is you need to do with your photo booth.
Yeah.
Because All Luma Booth does is just a service for clients. They have it set up to where they can take their pictures, send it to their phone, they can print from the DMP, airdrop. I mean, things of that nature. So that's why I'm like 75. What does it do? So
Yeah, I can definitely go over that. I mean, it does pretty much. I mean, honestly, I think they pretty much all do the same thing. Yeah, I'll pretty much do the same thing.
okay, yeah. I'm curious to know, man, because like I say, I've seen so many different services. That's the most expensive one I've heard. So
Yeah, I feel it
okay.
every month.
Every 30 days
The way he said that.
without fail, baby.
The way he said that, bruh. Every month.
Right. You can count on it. Okay.
You still here? Yeah, he's still here.
Yep,
All right,
yep.
That's fantastic.
Oh, so did you find anything difficult when starting? When I'm talking about that, when like getting your LLC or your business license or like filing the taxes, were any of those things along those lines difficult, or like maybe you wish you would have had somebody that could have, told you about how to get some of these things?
I mean, I wish I would have did it way sooner than I did. That's the only thing, because getting the LLC, I went through LegalZoom to get my LLC. I don't know who you went through.
I went straight through the state, just like.
Yo, so yours was you probably paid way less than I did.
Yeah, because I went straight through. I won't lie, going through the state, like that was I feel like that process was a little bit bigger because you had to jump through all the extra loops and hoops, and you had to go out and file. Because I don't know if on LegalZoom or do they do like your did they get your like your EIN for you?
Everything.
Okay, so I had to go and file for all that separately on my own.
Once I found out, because I went to the Norm Dix building to apply for a business license. But when I seen I was like, damn. And when I looked on LegalZoom, they was like, they take care of everything for you. Now it was like maybe $315. But I didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
They took care of everything.
Man.
I got my EIN. I got my business insurance. I mean, they took care of everything.
Oh wow,
The stuff I wasn't even thinking about.
wow.
I did this online. I did it all online, and it was talking to people. I was like, oh, I have to get that too.
Yes.
Oh, I have to get that too. Now
Yes.
I wish I can go back and do.
Oh, I when I went through mine, I ended up messaging a friend of mine, my homie Terry, and his wife told him everything that I was gonna need. Yeah. So Ashley, thank you very much.
Salute,
But
Ashley.
yeah, she came back, like she messaged me and was like, what she told him, and he was like, hey, she said you're gonna need this, and this. So I'll say I got lucky in that aspect that I had someone who also owned a business that was able to tell me like, hey, you're gonna need all these extra things. I feel like some people, they don't have that. Like they go at it kind of blind, and I wish it would be easier. Like I wish there was more ways for people to figure out like, hey, this is how you can actually do this. But I mean, you went through LegalZoom, and I wish I didn't know about LegalZoom too, because I probably would have did that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it easy on myself, man. I just didn't want to keep jumping through hoops, because just running a business in general it takes work, man. Like, so like if you want to work for yourself, don't think that I'm an entrepreneur. You gotta work, just like if you got a 9 to 5, you gotta work, if not harder.
Yeah.
Because to get it off the ground, to get it popular and consistent, you gotta work. So yeah.
Yes. So So I actually had a question from earlier, because you were talking about. So earlier you were talking about like your fee, like what you charge people. Did you ever at any point undercharge people in the beginning?
Oh my God, in a major way. Like I'm talking about, like I've wasted so much time. I've been like in the field for clients to where the amount of hours that I worked and the money I walked away with did not add up. Not even close. You know, I've been at events for 5 hours and went home with like $40.
Oh my god.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
That was a good night. In the beginning, $40 was a good night.
I feel like Darren be asking these questions that just making my back itch. Man.
Making my
I'm sorry, man.
serious though, man.
It's a problem.
Trust me, even though I'm in a different field, I definitely understand undercharging because I did some bulk orders recently, and once it was over and I was done, I realized that everything that the time that I put in, everything that I made, didn't match to what I was paid for making these bulk orders. Yeah.
Yeah.
You like what?
Yeah, where'd my money go?
Yeah, like where's the profit?
I mean, but I will say this, man. What kept me going was I was telling myself, like, you know what? I would say like it's pro bono type of thing.
Yeah.
Even though I was hurt inside driving home, I knew like you have to keep going in order for this to grow. It won't always be $40 nights.
Yeah.
$12 nights.
Ooh,
you know, because I've had those.
Ooh.
Free nights.
Oh
you know.
my gosh, you gotta order up.
Give me a free night over a $12 night, man.
For real.
I mean, yeah, because I knew I took that $12 and got me a beer.
You know what I'm saying?
Just to drink my stress away. You know?
Oh man.
But, you know, if you stay consistent, you really believe in it, man. Just like they say about anything, man. It will work in your favor because, you know, now I don't walk $250 is a light night. You know, versus $40. And even $250, that's still light. But I would rather go home with $250 versus $40. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
I feel like I don't know what I would do. Sorry. I don't know what I would.
That's hilarious.
I can't get it out. Okay. I don't know what I would do.
Hold up, we leaving that whole party in right now.
Okay.
Because this man got tears in his eyes right now.
I don't know what I would do if after I finished a full night of work, somebody just gave me $12. What? Are you serious, man?
I'm telling you, feel this big.
God, man.
I'm just like, I might as well just give you my gear.
He said,
I quit.
he said, oh my God.
12 singles.
You got a chance for a fine.
Nah, that's a fight right there. They come up with 12 singles. You got no point but to fight. You got no. That's all you can do.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather just not get paid than you give me 12 singles.
Thank you. I'm gonna leave that $12 there. Out of my own dignity.
This man got tears in his eyes.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was that ugly, you know.
Man, $12. I will.
And
Sorry.
I had a homeboy that helped me in the beginning. Shout out to my boy Spank, man. I appreciate you, bruh. I would give him nothing. You know what I mean? Because, what I'm gonna give you? You know what I mean?
You're right. I'm sorry.
Because it was just like I was selling like $5 per picture. So every time I hit that button, that's $5. And it was some nights where it was like I didn't get to hit that button at all.
Golly.
You know what I mean? And I'll be, I would just apologize. Hey, my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But that's real that he
That is
continued
real.
to help you out. Like
Yeah.
he continued to came through and he supported what you were doing.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't, I guess what he was getting out of it is watching his friend grow and become successful.
Yeah. So big thank you for that, man. You know.
Definitely. I got dang.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, I think that $12 affected everybody. I'm sorry.
It got him laughing. $12 got me crying. Like,
Jeez.
Yeah, man. You know, and it happened fast. Like, hey, it ain't much, man. But then he gone. And I'm looking like, what the fuck?
But you know, the cool part though is that you can look back on that and be like, golly, I remember that time, and you can laugh about it now because now you went through those battles and you know exactly what your worth is as far as a business owner and what it costs to set up and what it costs to go through all those things.
Yeah.
And you will never put yourself in a position like that again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, now that I know, you know, in the beginning, if you don't know, you don't know. You know, you don't realize, like, oh, I didn't spend enough money on this because this ain't doing what I needed to do. Or, you know, I need to buy this to add on to help my job become easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I finally bought a remote for my camera, to me, it was just like heaven opening up.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, why didn't I think of this? You know what I mean?
I bet you sat down.
Of course I said.
You sat down, didn't you? You was like, wait a minute.
The arrogance.
You said, I need to make sure you pack my chair up. Make sure you put my chair in the back. And you just,
Yeah, bow.
there it is.
Oh, that's perfect.
There's something about that, right? That,
You be like, go pick your picture up.
yeah, over there. Wireless print.
Yeah.
It's over there. So you for top telling you, spend the money. Thank me. I'm telling you, you'll thank yourself. Spend the money.
Yes, yes. It is so important, man. That's the thing. Starting out early in the game, it's like you take these shortcuts,
Yeah.
thinking that you're gonna make it to the end.
You said it.
But I don't know if you've seen Cars, the first movie Cars,
I seen it.
when he was going around the track and he kept skipping his the tire changes. I can do it, man. It's fine. He kept skipping.
Yeah.
And right when he got to the
beautiful.
end of the race, his tires popped and he couldn't make it to the end. Like, don't skimp out. Like, invest in yourself, invest in your name, invest in your business. Don't
Definitely.
create hurdles for yourself.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
man. That's gold right
Yeah,
there. You
I had
said
to
it.
learn that.
Yeah, absolutely. Invest in yourself, and then no shortcuts, man. I mean, I understand not being able to afford certain things, but to me, that's a part of the journey. But if you know that you don't have to cut this corner, don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's supposed to be hard. Anything worth having is not gonna come easy.
Yes.
You know, I know y'all heard that 1,000 times, but it's so real. You know.
It is. It really is, man. It really is.
So, how has your business positively impacted your family?
Greatly, in my opinion. And I mean, it ain't just about the money. Let me be clear, because obviously money is the goal.
Yes.
But that's not what keeps me doing this. It's the smile on people's faces. When I get to these events and I set up shop, and just, I don't know, man. It's just something about seeing people happy and excited to be a part of, taking a picture of themselves and their friends, and they want more, and hey, where's your business card? And which I've also learned. Speaking of business cards, business owners, let's learn QR codes.
Yes.
That's where I was sleeping on QR codes.
They're perfect.
So now I'm learning on my machine. I want to put a giant QR code. And I wish I had them on my business card, which I'm gonna get some better quality shit. But
I like these, man.
yeah,
It's like, it's simple to the point, man. I like it. I
thank
do.
you. And like I said, I made these myself.
For real?
I made this on canvas.
Oh, wow.
This is simple. It ain't a whole lot going on, but like I say, I made it myself because I was looking at services that make business cards for you, and I was like, well, hell, I could do that myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
My son made my business card.
Definitely.
that's
Sure
dope.
did.
See, there you
Sure
go.
did.
But I need more. Yeah, I stopped to buy a new box of crayons. No, I'm lying. He did it on camera. He did it on camera.
Okay.
But yeah, he did really good. I like this. I like this one though.
What was the process like for you finding like the right type of camera and the right type of editing software and things like that? Like, how did that go?
For me, what I like to tell people is YouTube University, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
I've spent countless hours. I'm talking about hours just sitting watching camera videos and other photographers because they're excited to teach you. So it's like, instead of going to college and paying all of that money to learn from a teacher, it's endless people on YouTube that'll inspire you, that'll teach you things you can't even learn in school. And all you gotta do is apply it. Get out in the field. Take your camera everywhere you go.
Yes. Shoot.
Yeah, if you out in some field with flowers everywhere, shoot the flowers. Shoot the train tracks.
Yeah. Shoot
the bums in the street. It's so much to art. As far as photography is concerned, I want to encourage everybody to just shoot. Don't think about I'm gonna do it this time. You will never be ready ever. It's not even possible. Just do it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying it that way, because I'm like, well, shit, I don't know. I'm just gonna do it now.
Oh my gosh, man.
So
I am so happy I'm so happy that you are on this show. Like, I don't think you understand, bro.
Cheers.
I don't think you understand,
Thank
man.
you, man.
It is. Yes. Yes. You stay up. You go to bed. You're in bed. You were probably shooting something, and it's like, man, why is it not doing what I was? And then you sit there, you try to go to bed, try to go to sleep. You can't because you're thinking about that. So what do? You get on YouTube, and you get on YouTube and you type in the situation that you were having, and then you sit there and watch videos. It's 1:30 in the morning. You're watching videos on. Oh, that's how you. Okay. And then what you do? You grab your camera with you the next day. You go out. You get off work and you see the same thing.
Yep.
You bust it out and you start. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. You apply it. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Man, I am. It
100%.
is. Man, I'm telling you. It is good to see. Good to hear that I am not weird and I'm not alone.
No, not at all, man. I mean, I'm sure there's thousands that can relate, man. Because like I say, when I've shot people with my camera, and it's just like, why every time I shoot, why does it look like this? And it's just like, I've tried zooming in, and you learn that you're not turning the focus correctly, or your settings are correct. So it's just like it. You have to set your camera according to your job. So if you're in a dark setting, you got to set your camera accordingly. If you're in a bright setting, you got to set your camera accordingly. You can't just whip your camera out and just start shooting. No. Yeah, don't do that. So.
It's this is so refreshing to hear. It is, and it's like I know it's, bro. You don't understand, man. I have a question. What is like your number one camera that if you could have any camera in the world, what would it be? Money's not an object.
Wow. I don't know. Maybe the Mark 1. But I don't have like $10,000 or $15,000. But only because, like, with that camera, like, I can shoot full-on motion picture movies that you would pay to go to the theaters to see.
Wow.
If I want to. As far as the lenses, all of them. From 50 millimeter to so on. To shoot, the big ass, the one for shooting sports. I'm drawing a blank because I'm buzzing.
150 to 6.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I mean, but the Mark 1, I've always wanted that one. And then it's the red, something red.
Is it the R5?
It's the R5 red.
Mark II, the R2, the R5C Mark II. Yeah, that's a beast.
Yeah.
That is definitely a beast of a camera.
Yes, definitely a price tag on that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they actually had to add 2, is it Camper's hands? The money sign? Camper's hand, is that what it is, the money sign?
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, cool.
Okay, they had to add 2 onto that price tag because the number is so big. But yeah. No, they didn't. I'm just...
Oh, I'm about to say, that's a whole lot of money.
Yeah, that's... Oh my God, I'm sorry. I get excited.
I'm over here taking it all in because I'm not a photography. I'm not photography, but I'm just like listening to them and I'm just learning and learning and learning.
But
So
I definitely want to get back more into the photography of because I've always like when I do shooting it's like photo shoots where I'm shooting people. My friends they more so shoot like landscape type of stuff.
You had a group?
Yeah, I mean, especially like in Lightroom, you can like join groups and stuff like that. But yeah, people that just shoot like graffiti, flowers, stuff like that. That's too easy. Like shooting people is way more challenging. So I guess I kind of go that angle, mainly because it's like when it comes to editing.
Yeah.
You can relate. Like that's really where the charging comes in because shooting, that's an art in itself. But when you take it home and want to edit it for the client, it's not so much how you want it to where the client wants it. So it's way more challenging in my opinion because it's like, okay, this is how I would do it. This is how I like it. But I'm gonna email you this. Tell me what you think. And sometimes, oh well, can you make my teeth brighter or
Yeah. Yes.
Some people they literally ask me to see if I can make them thinner. Like
oh. Wow.
I'm not gonna comment on that one.
Yeah. We don't need to go there, but I mean, it's a lot goes into it, man. Especially like working in the field, working in nightclubs, doing photo booths, man. Dealing with drunk people. A lot of people they'll look at what I'm doing and they're like, I could do that. All I gotta do is buy a camera and a printer.
You're right.
But you don't realize what goes into it.
Yeah.
Because I've had people try to copy me. And they go out in the field and then they come back and say, man, I don't know how you deal with these.
Because you can't see me.
You are not John Cena.
So you're right.
Yeah, man, it's more than what you think goes into it.
It's a lot.
But
it's a lot.
At the same time, it's a passion, man. So I love it, man.
You enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
absolutely.
So how do you balance it all? Being a business owner, having a regular 9 to 5, being a husband and a father.
It's pretty even, man. I mean, like when my kids were younger, they understood, when it was a chance of daddy gone, we can play now, type of thing for them. But my wife, a lot of times she was out in the field with me, so it was just something to do. Like we ain't in the house, we ain't just sitting around watching a movie.
Yeah.
We out in the community, offering a service.
Yes.
So it was always, and I always did my gigs around my work shift. It was mostly weekends, but like the work days where, if I was hired by like a middle school or something, if I was booked in advance, I knew I could put the time in at work and get that day off to make that money, But it balanced out really well. I never really had an issue. So
That's great.
I'm grateful for that.
Definitely. Okay, so we coming to the end, and we got this last question that I can't ask because I don't have that passion in my voice like Randy has. So, Randy,
Man. Yo, so coming down to that last question again, man. So, what was that one thing that you would pass down to that person coming up behind you?
First of all, to never quit. No matter what it is, keep going. And definitely to, leave something behind. Whether it's, the business, for example, to where I can pass on to my children. Even if it's not like my children, if it's something that I can do to make the next generation, something I can pass down to where they can be inspired off something I said, something I did, or something I did to inspire other people. That type of thing. So yeah, with that being said, go to DME photobooth.org to book your boy and make your event and have a good time.
most definitely. So, it's the end. Thank y'all for tuning in to Startup Stories with Darren and
Randy.
my dog said Randy. Today we had with us Jay from DME Photo Booth. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We just talking business, y'all.
Just talking business, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Every morning I wake up.
Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe.
And if you want to be featured on our show, go ahead and send us a message on our Facebook page, or you can check the description for our email.
So I push it to the limit, so I can be the greatest, so I can look my family in their eyes and say we made it. Don't let life hand you nothing, you just got